Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my most recent reads. I thought it would be fun in the month of November to go through my kind of progress reports with you guys as I check in on a Bucket Listathon to see what prompts I've accomplished, what books I've really loved. And I'm not going to do this on a schedule, like I'm not going to post a video every week, just whenever I have an update on some of the things that I've gotten done for the readathon to let you guys know if there's a book that I really want to talk about. I might pop in a little video here and there to talk about my progress. Starting with the Gameboard prompts that I accomplished. The first one was the Dallergut Dream Making District, which I read for the prompt Libby Chicken, which was just a book that you had a deadline for. I obviously own this book physically, and so I didn't technically have a deadline for it in that regard, but I wanted to read this immersively because I have really enjoyed the audio for the first book in this series, and I wanted to have that same experience just with the physical book as well. And I only had the audio for like the first week of November, so I had to get it done, and I did read it. I ended up rating this a 4.75. I dearly love this series, and I will say that Dallergut Dream Department Store, which is the first book in the series, didn't get a 5-star the first time around either. And so I'm hoping that upon reread, this will become a 5-star. It was just missing something for me at the, not even at the end, just in general in the book. I enjoyed this one less than the first, which is why I rated it a 4.75, but it still has a lot of the themes in it that I loved from the first book. If you haven't heard of the Dallergut Dream Department Store, which is the first book in the series, you're following a main character whose name is Penny, and she works for a retail store that literally sells dreams to people. And it's written in a very episodic way. It is translated from Korean, I believe. And the thing that I love about the book in the series is Penny's, one, not an expert at her field. She's very much learning on the fly. And two, her curiosity surrounding the dreams and how they can help people, and the offshoots that this author does in talking to the various clients of the Dallergut Dream Department Store and figuring out what dreams would help them, talking to the dream makers. We get so many facets of this very whimsical world that cover some very deep topics as well, and emotional topics. Both of these books, the Dallergut Dream Department Store and the Dallergut Dream Making District, have made me cry at times. And I love a book that can do that, but still leave me warm and fuzzy and not, you know, despairing. And so I definitely recommend this as a book to bring you joy, a book to maybe lift your spirits a little bit, but also allow you a little bit of a cry if you want that. I love these. These books are great. The second prompt that I accomplished within the game board was a TBR veteran. And the TBR veteran that I decided to tackle this year was the Sunlit Man. I won't hold this up the entire time because it does freak out my camera with the foil in the front. But the Sunlit Man is the fourth and final secret project by Brandon Sanderson. Or I should say final, because I think there was a secret project after that one that was released. It was the fourth and final Year of Sanderson book that was published within that first Kickstarter. And I was a little nervous. If you guys watched my game board video and also the scavenger hunt video where I mention it, it's been definitely something that I have not wanted to pick up because I did not enjoy the second Year of Sanderson book, which is called The Frugal Wizard's Handbook to Surviving Medieval England or something like that. Which I did not enjoy. And so I was a little scared that I was going to read this book and not enjoy it, but it pleasantly surprised me. I ended up rating this a 4.5 star. This is definitely a Cosmere book, so please do not read this without reading. I would say you have to read what is out right now in Stormlight. If you don't read through Stormlight, maybe through Stormlight 4 you would be fine, but I think through Stormlight 5 you probably need to read all of it beforehand. I'm trying to think of like significant spoilers that would happen. I'm just going to say to be safe that you need to read all 5 Stormlight books to read The Sunlit Man. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to talk to you guys about what's in the book, because of the fact that it is a Cosmere book that's later on in the Cosmere. I'll just say that there is a main character whose name is Nomad, and he ends up on a planet on the run and has to figure things out as he goes. The planet has a different magic system, or really a different living circumstance than he is used to, that he has to figure out. He is dealing with his own battles within his own magic that you learn about, and he has to deal with being on the run, but also having a little bit of not an identity crisis, but like a crisis of morality. He wants to help the people that he runs across and not just, run in, run out, and leave. But he also then can potentially put himself and others in danger by doing that. And so you get to live with him through those choices that he's made. I really liked it. I thought it was an interesting addition to the Stormlight Archive, and the note at the end, I forget what they call it, I think it was postscript at the end, where Sanderson talks about the inspiration for the book and the origin of the story, was intriguing, and I hope that there's more. Within that postscript, he kind of leaves it open-ended on whether or not this story will continue. There definitely will be some, and I'm not saying that this is a series, although if Sanderson wants to make it one, I wouldn't complain. I'm saying that I think the potential is there to have some of the elements or things and people within this book pop into various Cosmere stories is very high. And I like that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of see those Easter eggs, and hopefully I remember them. So yeah, this was a win. I am excited and grateful that Bucket Listathon has made me pick up this book finally, because it's physical TBR book. It's a beautiful edition. It's a Sanderson book. I needed to continue in the Cosmere. It's been a minute since I've read a Cosmere book too. And so it kind of has maybe opened me up to picking up another Cosmere book soon, because I haven't been doing that recently. I am working on 2 roles in the game, but I'm not done with them yet. And that was my new release goal that had to be a physical TBR book, which was the Society of Unknowable Objects. I'm 90% into that book, so I'm almost done with it. And then my end of year goal prompt that I got was to finish a series or continue a series. And I'm currently reading Ruin by Gwynne. I know that some of you in the comments really wanted me to read Fury of the Gods, and I still might get to that book. Ruin came up on Libby first, and so that's the one that I picked up first. So it's very early days. I think I'm like 2% into the book, but so only 2 prompts from the game board down. I had 7 prompts total, so I'm a little concerned with my progress, but I'm not going to stress about it. And then I also completed, just with those same 2 books, I completed Read a Book That Will Bring You Joy, which was B's prompt. That was Dallergut Dream Department Making District. And then I also, from the Scavenger Hunt, read a book from nope, that's not the one I want to talk about yet. Which one did I do? Read a backlist title, which was Melinda's prompt, and that was Sunlit Man. So both of those prompts from the Scavenger Hunt are complete. I also completed a prompt from Cliff, which was read a book from a genre you've avoided. And I picked up a nonfiction for that, which was Obitchuary, the Big Hot Book of Death. And I DNF'd it at 10%. So depending on whether or not I have time this month, I might pick up another nonfiction or just another book that I have been, like a genre that I have been avoiding. I don't know that I'm going to have time though, so I am going to count a DNF as a successful completion of a prompt. The book Obitchuary, I know some of you had asked me about it in my the comments of my videos and whether or not I liked it, just my opinion on it. I think that it could work for a lot of people. The tone of the book is what I didn't enjoy. It's very much, I don't want to say gimmicky because I feel like that's a little harsh, but it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's comical in like a very loud and like not gonna hide type of way, almost festive in its exploration of death, and I just think it's a little over the top for me. I wasn't offended by anything in the story. It just kind of kept taking me out, this goofy feel to the book surrounding something that is very somber in tone. Not that it has to be by any means, but I think that I am still interested in death culture and how other people celebrate their loved ones. I think that that could be an interesting topic, but I think I'd want a different tone to a nonfiction book that I pick up for that. So this one just didn't work for me. The last book that I will talk about is one that doesn't meet any of my prompts. I could make it fit, but it was not a book that I planned to read this month. I just had it on Libby and had to read it within a certain amount of time. And that was Recipes of an Unexpected Afterlife, which I did talk a little bit about in the Discord if you guys are in the Discord. I ended up rating it a 4.0, just a flat 4.0. This story features a Death Knight orc whose name is Gorrot. And he opens up a restaurant in the city of Necropolis, and you get to see the various things that happen because of the restaurant that he's opening. The main storyline features him and an orphan girl who strike up a friendship and really find each other in each of their times of need. I can't remember her name. Astrid? I can't remember. I'll have to put it up on the screen if I remember, but I liked the relationship between these two. It's very much a father-daughter-like relationship, which is very sweet. I do think, not to give people a warning, but just to let people know to kind of maybe adjust their expectations, that this book does not have writing that is as polished as a book like Legends and Lattes. It does have cozy vibes. You have this restaurant, these warm, cozy foods. The story surrounding our orc's character and his history and why food means a lot to him is very much there. So if you are there for the food, you're there for the descriptions of soups and things that he makes. All of that is within the story. But it's not as... I hate to say that it's not as well written. It's just not written like Legends and Lattes. And so I do think that that might take some people out of the story. But I really enjoyed it. I think that the world that is created was very interesting for me. You have skeletons walking around, vampires. You have a vampire orc, which I think is interesting. You do still have some traditional things that happen, like, you know, elves and dwarves don't get along, and people don't like Death Knights because of their origins. And so there's some discussions throughout the book on prejudices and people not feeling welcome in certain places because of history and people's actions. So I really liked the story. I don't know that I will reread it. I would be interested to see if the author comes back to the world. And I would definitely continue if this became a series. I don't think that it is, but if it became a series, I would definitely continue to see where our orc and Astrid, the little girl, end up, because I do think that it's very fun to see their progression throughout the book. And also just the story of Necropolis, the city that we're in, and the growth there, and how it would morph even more than what it does within this first book. So I would continue with it. I don't know that I want it for my collection. I'm kind of sitting on it for a little bit and seeing if it stays with me, because so far I have, like, it kind of gives me warm and fuzzy vibes when I talk about it. So I do think that it's definitely one to keep on your TBR and to watch out for it if you guys can get a copy easily. I think that it is a warm and cozy read that might put a smile on your face. Just to briefly mention as well some of the fill your bucket tasks that I have completed. The main one being that I have gone out with my own community. I have a group of friends that we recently went on a short little trip with to a place that we've been to before, but it was just very fun to get together with them and spend some time eating good food and putting together puzzles and walking around Christmas lit streets, and I thought it was a very fun time. So I just got back from that. That's why I haven't been, you know, voraciously reading this month, because I did have a short little trip that I have gone on, but I had a lot of fun. Got a lot of, you know, self-care as far as the vacationing and kind of taking a break from everything. It was very fun. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to get back to the productivity and see where this readathon takes me. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys are participating in Gameboard, Scavenger Hunt, Fill Your Bucket. What is the one prompt that you are proud of yourself for completing so far, or that you're in the middle of that you are really excited to have completed by the end of the month? If you aren't feeling chatty but you still want to let me know that you are here, leave me a smiley face emoji or some type of just emotion emoji. It could be the crazy face, or, you know, maybe somebody sticking your tongue out, whatever you guys feel, just so I know that you're with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.